Hi, my name is Joan Buckley Welch, and I'd like to share my charity with you. The name of my charity is Making Connections International. And the whole idea of what I do is connecting people to resources, like anything they need. It could be something they need long term or something that they need just one time. So my first encounter with this, or the first time I thought about this, was I was connecting a lot of my high school friends after we've all graduated and lost contact. And I started going back to my high school to do reunions, and everyone started asking me, have you seen this person or have you seen that person? So I started doing searches for people that were missing. Before all that happened, there wasn't Facebook. There was another social media called Tagged, where a lot of us were on. So that's how we were finding some people. So later on, it became an international thing because there were people still in Jamaica, people in the United States. So we started doing reunions and traveling back to Jamaica. I would spend a week at my high school connecting with children. Some of them were in need, so I would do my best to connect them to people that I knew were able to help them. So one of the first projects that I did was computer monitors, because I knew that we needed computer monitors at my school because everything was outdated. So at that time, there were companies that were changing over their old system to a new system that they have. So everyone was getting flat screen computers. So I was able to collect a lot of those things and send them to Jamaica through my high school alumni in New York. After that, I did an Easter dress project with Sister Anna Kay. I know that families always go to church Easter. So I started collecting dresses from just stuff from my house, first of all, stuff that my daughters didn't wear anymore, but they were good stuff. So I didn't want to just throw them out or just throw them in the bins on the street. I started collecting dresses, and one of the projects that Sister Anna Kay and I worked on was a shelter in Patterson, where we collected dresses and we went there and we gave to the families. Some of them needed more than Easter dresses. They needed food, they needed other things, so we would bring them food. And there were boys there too. Sister Anna Kay was one of the people that were taking them to church. So we brought them dresses and the families were happy, and I kept in touch with some of them. They were very thankful. One of the next things that I did is I started collecting prom dresses and bridesmaids dresses, because those dresses are usually worn only once. So I started collecting them from people who I knew had proms, and some of them spend so much money on it. So when I get the dresses, I would go to cleaners close to me and ask them, can you clean these clothes for me? This is the charity that I'm doing. I tell them the name of the charity and the purpose of the charity. And one guy I don't remember the cleaner's name right now, was very happy to do that. So he would clean the dresses for me, and some of them I kept in my house, some of them I gave them away. So then my high school was doing a fashion show, and the person in charge of it reached out to me because she know that I do these projects. So she reached out to me and asked me if I could get her clothes and shoes and jewelry. I wasn't able to get her jewelry. I was able to get her some shoes. I announced it at church that we needed clothes and shoes. So some people brought good shoes, not stuff that you don't need. And I was able to ship these down to Jamaica. So I had dresses for all the different categories that they wanted for the fashion show, just from collecting dresses and clothes from my friends. The next thing that I do once a month is it's Vietnam Veterans Association, the VVA. So I do a partnership with them where I collect clothes. We just leave them on the porch. I call the phone number, or I could do the appointment online and just let them know that the clothes are on the porch. So they come, they pick up the stuff, and I'm not quite sure what they do with it. However, that's something that I do every month just to give back. So it's right in my community, it's in my house. We are usually just bringing stuff out, putting it on the porch, and they'll take it. Another thing that I do is usually collect t-shirts from my organization that I work with, American Cancer Society. We always have t-shirts left over. So what I do with those is whenever our churches are sending barrels overseas, we usually get those, distribute them to the different churches. So this way they're able to give back to their community, just free stuff. One of the best part of doing this was while I was going to my high school every year, or twice a year, 3 times a year, I met a young man who is now my child, my son, Dwayne. That was one of the best things that I could say that came out of this charity. The coach one day said to me, just see what you can do for this young man. He needs help. I didn't know his background. The coach told me nothing about him. So after I left Jamaica and I went back, I decided to meet up with Dwayne, and now he's a part of my family. Long story short, we started Skyping after I came back, and then he got to meet the kids, and he was able to meet Richard just through Skype, cyberspace, and right away they loved him. His story is one that you'll hear a lot in Jamaica. His mom passed away when he was 6 years old. There are 3 kids, his brother and his younger sister. So after his mom passed, the family was split up to different families. So he stayed with his aunt, and he did very well in school, which is one of the things that I loved about him. And he's him out of my eyes. He is very, he's a good child. So he was playing football at the time at the school. So at that time he was like 17 or 18 years old. So he's been a part of our family. He now lives with us. He's going to college in New York, and he's a very big part of us. He's just like he's my own child. He calls me mom. That's Leon and Tyra's big brother, and he's always there. Anytime we need him, Dwayne's always there. So that was one of the biggest things that I would say that came out of that. The theme of my heart is that the will of God may be done in my life, and that's what I'm doing through this charity, showing love to people in need, because people know that I do this stuff. They're always giving back. I try my best to partner with anyone that I see that's doing a project. If I can help in any way, I recently partnered with Slay the Clutter, a friend of mine, Sister Akila, who was helping people clean up their house. So she was doing her first project, and I know a friend who is always giving me free stuff because he knows that I'm always doing stuff. So he gave me a bunch of small lotions and all of that. So I was able to collect everything that she needed for her gift bags and give them to her. So yesterday she sent me an email. She said, my mom wants to partner with you on something. And I'm like, wow, I'm getting excited, but a little bit of anxiety because I don't know what it is. But I'm looking forward to it. One of the things that I stress, and I do this with my kids, is volunteering. Volunteering in your community, giving back. And we always need volunteer hours in so many things that we do. Even grown-ups need volunteer hours just to show that we're doing in our community. So I work for American Cancer Society, as I mentioned earlier, and it's the biggest voluntary organization in the country. So because we're always looking for volunteers, I'm always looking to volunteer in anything that I see, anything that is in my community. The most recent thing that I did was a 5K with Anthony Hutchinson. He has a green juice